Hi, welcome to a therapeutic moment. I'm Stephanie Patterson, a marriage and family therapist, and I'm here to help you learn new ways to cope with life. Today we're going to be doing some therapeutic art, so get ready with your creative side. We're going to be making a piece of art to help you understand yourself a little bit better and get to know your personal strengths. So with therapeutic art, it's important to focus on the process of the making of the art rather than the end product. So that means setting aside all thoughts of judgment on the way that your project is looking and the way that it turns out, and rather focus on your enjoyment through the process. So right now, make sure that you're in a place that you can feel comfortable. So adjust your environment so that you feel relaxed, you can feel engaged in your artwork, and you can consider if you want to play music, have snacks, or whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable so that you can be focused on your thoughts and feelings and reflections that come out during the process rather than worrying about the end result. I'm going to tell you what supplies you'll need for this activity, and then you can go collect them, and then we'll meet back here for some therapeutic art. For this activity, you will need 3 pieces of paper. One of those could be a little thicker like cardstock, but if you don't have any, you can use plain paper like I did for this exercise. And you'll need a pair of scissors and some glue. You can use a glue stick or plain white glue or rubber cement. Any of those will do fine. And the last thing you'll need is some magazine paper. That could be about 2 to 3 or 4 sheets of magazine paper with colors that you like or that you think maybe will work well for this project. If you don't have magazine paper, you can also use newspaper and make a black and white version. Now that you've collected your supplies, arrange them in your space. And then get comfortable in your seat, and we're going to clear our minds to get ready for this art activity. So taking a breath in and holding it for a few seconds, and a big exhale out. And again, take a breath in and out. And imagine as you're breathing in something that you feel like you're needing today to be prepared for your artwork, and exhaling out what you don't need. Breathing in, imagining that resource sort of spreading through your body or that feeling, and as you exhale, releasing behind all your thoughts and worries, anxieties, troubles, stress from earlier today. And keep this breathing pattern going. Until your final exhale. You can open your eyes if they are closed right now to your space. Now just for a moment, I want you to think of an animal that you feel represents your personality, who you are, or your soul. An animal that you feel like is very similar to you, or an animal that represents you in some way. It might even be an animal that you're drawn to, that you feel like you want to become more like that animal. So think of one in your mind, and you'll need a picture of that animal. So if you have a cell phone or a computer, or happen to have a book nearby that has that animal, go get a picture that you can use for reference of that animal. It doesn't have to be a perfect picture, just something so you can remember what that looks like. And if you have a really strong visual memory and you don't need a picture to base your drawing off of, then you don't need to go get a picture. So it's only if you want to, you can go and get a picture to represent your animal so that you can look at it for reference. Okay, once you have your picture that you're going to use for reference, you're going to start drawing your animal. Now this picture that you're going to do is just an outline. So it's just a template. The outside edges are what matter. So no need to draw details into the center of it. Just draw an outline of your animal. Now this can be as detailed as you want it or as simple as you want it. It can be more of a symbol than an actual representation of the animal. Whatever it is that feels right for you, you go ahead and do that. And once you've drawn the outline of your animal, if you need to see it a little darker, like I have, you can outline it in a darker marker. But if you can see your lines just fine, then that's not necessary. Once you've completed drawing the outline of your animal that you selected, cut that out. You can discard the extra scraps once they come off and save your animal outline and put that template to the side. Take your magazine paper or newspaper and cut it into strips. You can cut them in equal sized pieces or you can vary the width of them. I put my papers together to cut them a little quicker. Once you have your magazine strips cut, push them over to the side and pull out one of your clean pieces of paper. Get your glue and start gluing down the strips of paper in whatever arrangement you want to. You can just glue them straight across. You can think carefully about your colors and arrange them in a way that is pleasing to you. You can consider the animal and its characteristics and what colors or textures you might want to have on your paper to represent it. You can make shapes in it like I have. I've cut and made some squares. There's no right or wrong way to approach this. You just want to cover your paper with strips of color. So as you are gluing down your strips, I want you to think about the animal that you chose and consider, why you chose that animal. What characteristics do you and the animal have in common? What about the animal's life do you find appealing? And how is that life different from yours? Consider the environment that animal lives in and your environment. Maybe it's relationship with other animals of the same species. The amount of freedom the animal has. Its strengths and abilities. Reflect on those as you're gluing down and arranging your magazine strips. If you are doing this art project with someone else, you can share and talk about your answers to those questions. Once you've completed covering your paper with magazine, you can cut the edges off if you would like to. Then take your animal template and place it over the magazine strips. Find the spot that you feel is right for that animal to be on that magazine. And then take a pen or pencil or marker and trace around that template. You may have to tape your animal down in place to do that, or just hold it down. As you trace around your animal, imagine what it feels like to be that animal. Considering all of its parts as you trace around, what it uses those physical features for, and what it maybe feels like to be that animal. You may even consider how it feels to be you, and where there's some similarities there. Once you finish tracing around your animal, set your template to the side and begin to cut out your animal. Now, if you're careful at cutting, you may be able to keep the outside remnants for another project, or you can just cut it out, get it out of the way, and cut that animal out, because that's the part we're going to be using, is that inside piece. Once you're finished cutting out your animal, get your other piece of paper and set it down and glue down your animal. Find a place where you'd like to set it on that paper. You can leave it just the way you have it with a white background or whatever color your paper is. Or you can choose to make an environment for this animal by either drawing or painting. As you finish gluing or drawing around this animal, consider what you'd like to do with this project. If you'd like, you can journal and record your thoughts that came up during this project. Answers to why you chose your animal. What characteristics do you have in common with it? I hope you enjoyed today's therapeutic art. Remember, you can keep your artwork either in an art journal or display it somewhere, or you can gift it to somebody else, or you can dispose of it, because it's really about the process that matters, not the end product. So I hope that you have learned something a little bit about yourself, or reconnected with something that you've lost touch with within yourself, and that you have a great rest of your day. Bye.